Okay, Assalamualaikum and good day. So, my name is Dr. Muhammad Nasir Abdullah. I am a senior lecturer in School of Mathematical Science, College of Computing, Informatics and Mathematics, Universiti Teknologi MARA. So, in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use or to construct a bar chart using ggplot package in R programming. So, the outline or learning outcome, after completing this topic, you should be able to construct a bar chart using R programming, interpret the information presented in a bar chart, compare data value between different categories or groups, and last, to understand how to represent the categorical data using bar chart. So basically, a bar chart or bar graph is a graphical presentation of data using rectangular bar or columns used to display and compare the values of different categories or group. It is commonly used to show categorical data where x-axis will represent the categories or group and y-axis will represent the value being measured, such as frequency or the mean value or sum value or median value. Each bar typically start from the baseline 0 value and extend upwards to the height corresponding to the value of the data point it represents. So this is an example of bar chart. So bar chart are particularly useful when you want to compare data across different categories, highlight trends or variation within a dataset, and presenting discrete or non-continuous data or simply qualitative data. So in bar chart in R for ggplot2 package, we are using ggplot2 package. The geombar function is used to create bar chart. You can learn about this function from the help page, help geombar, or simply geombar. Geom_bar. This is an example of bar chart using ggplot package, and this is an example of the bar chart from ggplot package. Right. So to demonstrate the use of ggplot package to construct a bar chart, we will look at demonstration later. So next, the learning outline that we're going to show in the R programming. First, we're going to look at how to construct a simple bar chart, creating element of bar chart, modification of color scheme, and lastly, we're going to look at how to construct a cluster bar chart or stack bar chart. And to start with, I'm going to use this data to start with the data demonstration. Okay, let's look at the R Studio. So this is R Studio. So the introduction, I already explained to you the outline of this demonstration. So first, you need to call the library ggplot2. So if you don't have the library, you can go to Package tab in the Package panel and click on Install. Find ggplot2. Right. You find ggplot2 and click on Install button. So it will install it for you, and then once you already installed, you just need to run library ggplot2. So this is the standard ggplot argument. Right. So first we need to type the function ggplot, and first we need to input our data. Let's say our data mtcars, and we need to input the aesthetic value as an argument where we need to specify the variable on x-axis and variable for y-axis. So let's say this is x will be CYL and y will be MPG. So this is example of a blank chart using ggplot package. So as I said just now, to construct a bar chart, so we need to use geombar to give instruction to R to construct a bar chart. So let's use the data that I already mentioned in the slide, right? So let me copy and paste this data. So this is the data that I already key in into RStudio, right? And but basically the data should be in a data frame format lah. So instead, if you compare with the base package, you can read from a data value, but this is a you need to have a data frame format. So we have two variables, fruit and the value of the fruit. So let's start with the ggplot. So the data set is survey, right? And we put the aesthetic value where x will be the fruit and y is equal to values, right? And you need to make sure that the fruit is in factor level. So I am going to put it as a factor. And then we need to add geombar to specify R, to give the instruction to R that we're going to develop a bar chart. So if you run this one, it cannot be construct bar chart because this is aggregate data. So we need to add another argument, which is stat equal to identity. So then R will pick up the value in the data set to construct a bar chart. So let's try and understand more detail about the stat equal to identity and the geombar. So I'm going to use MtCar's dataset. So remember, MtCar dataset is a ready-made dataset in R. You can find MtCar by typing data, open bracket, close bracket. And this is the list of available dataset in the RStudio. So MtCar represent motor trend car road test, right? So if you type $MtCars, so it will give you the documentation of the MtCar, where the first variable mpg represent mile per gallon, cyl represent cylinder, number of cylinder, and so on, right? So now let's look at the structure of MtCar, right? So basically, number of cylinder is a categorical data, but the structure data type for MtCar by default is numerical. So I'm going to change the type of variable for CYL, VS, AM gear, and carburetor to be as factor, because this is factor level or what we call a categorical data. So I'm going to use a library dplyr, right? So I'm going to first I'm going to store data 1 MtCar as a data 1 because I'm not going to disturb the original data. So my data, so this is the data set that I'm going to put for replacing the factor level. So data 1, so mutate, but before that I need to pick up some variable name that I'm going to change. So names will be CYL, VS, and then we have AM, gear, and last is carburetor, right? So mutate across name, and I want to change as factor, right? So let's look at the structure of my data. So now supposedly it will already change CYL as a factor with 3 level, VS factor with 2 level, right? So now let's understand, this is raw data. My data is a raw data, right? So we're going to construct a bar chart from a raw data. Construct bar chart from raw data, right? supposedly when you want to construct a bar chart, it should be on aggregate data. So as I said just now, stat is equal to count is a default function, default argument in geom_bar. It tells R to count the values to find frequency, the total frequency lah, right? So basically, if you look at this one, this is a group data, raw data. So I'm going to use ggplot. So this is my data, AES. Let's say x equal to CYL. So this is the data that I'm going to input, right? So then I'm going to add plus geom_bar stat equal to count. So this is by default basically. So if you not specify stat equal to count, it's also okay because this is a default argument, right? So when you specify stat equal to identity, it means that tell R to sum or to total the values for total frequency in y-axis, right? So it will total the value for y-axis. For example, let's say ggplot my data AES, let's say x equal to CYL. I'm going to add y equal to MPG and plus geom_bar stat equal to identity. So it means that you're going to sum all the value MPG for CYL equal to 4. When for 6-cylinder car, it will total all the MPG. So this is not really useful, or not really representing the mean of mile per gallon. So for that, we need to compare the categorical data with mean value. We need to aggregate the data first, right? So to construct a simple bar chart, for example, this is a simple bar chart based on mean y or median y or median y, any numerical summary. So for example, I'm going to make it aggregate data first lah. First, I'm going to use D. I'm going to store it as D, my data, right? So group by CYL, and then I'm going to summarize mean MPG equal to mean MPG and A.rm equal to true, because I'm going to ignore the missing value if available. So D, this is the aggregate data, right? So to construct a bar chart, so I'm going to call the data set, which is D, AES, X will be the CYL, and Y will be mean MPG, right? I'm going to add the geom_bar, right? Geom_bar with stat equal to identity. So it will produce a bar chart, a simple bar chart for aggregate data, right? So this is very simple example. So let's look at another example. By using PG mean data. So to get the PG mean data, I need to call a library ggcodebook. So ggcodebook is I just want to use the data PG mean. Right, so this is the data. So if I want to create a bar chart, ggplot, so PG mean, right, AES, I need to specify X will be the group and Y will be weight, Right, so next I'm going to add the geom bar functions that equal to identity. So it will produce a simple bar chart. Okay, so this is very simple. So next, if I want to add the title, adding title and axis label, right? So to add the title, first one, so let me put this one, title. So we can use, let me use this one, maybe I use this one, right? So to add the title, you just need to add, put the add symbol, addition symbol. We use ggtitle and put our title. This is a bar graph. So it will produce a title for the graph. So if you want to put x as this title, right? So I just copy this one, right? I just put add button symbol and x lab equal to group. So the title for x axis. For y axis title, I need to add another argument, which is plus y lab. This is going to be weight. Right, that's all. Right, so maybe this is quite lengthy argument to input, or function to input. There is another method to input the title simultaneously. Right, so for example, let me copy this part, right, and then I add plus. I can use labs, right, labs, and then I put title equal to a bar chart showing distribution of maybe I'm using D lah, my data. Maybe I'm going to hide this one. Oops, I don't want the stat because this is a problem data. Let me run this one first. Oops, data is not group. This is basically CYL. Right, okay, this is a distribution showing a bar chart showing distribution of number of cylinder, right, and then a comma. I put x axis, this is going to be number of cylinder, and y axis will be frequency, and I can also add tag, which is to tell us this is a figure 1 or 2, and I can also add caption where this is a data from the 1974 Motor Trend US magazine, and then I also can add subtitle. This is, let's say I put from 1973 to 1974, so it will appear all the information simultaneously without having to input one by one argument. Alright, I think this is the end of part 1 and of part 1. So we're going to have 5 video series for this part. Part 2 will continue on the next video. Alright, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.